Well, I don't think a lot of people realize that so many people are being impacted as much as they are. But it's all over the news. I mean, that's what we've been following, and it doesn't matter which side of the fence you're on.
Well, no, the issue really is quite specific. How many people live paycheck to paycheck?
Right.
And I think it's a huge number. I think it's a lot bigger than most people think. And so...
Well, right here, Hillfield.
You're waking up today and there's no paycheck. And there's automatic deposit. And for a lot of people, they have rent money that goes throughout today, or maybe they do automatic payments that go out today, and there's nothing in the bank.
The Coast Guard.
You mean the people who save our lives and patrol the high seas to protect our waters?
and they go
when
out
people get in trouble, they go out and rescue them and save their lives. Your uncle, cousin Kim was in the Coast Guard. It was amazing.
50 cal machine guns in the front of a small boat.
So much for my noble visions of saving lives. It's all about the 50 cal machine
He actually did save lives off Nantucket.
Yeah, he did. It was amazing.
I will say that during a horrible storm back then on Nor'easter. Okay, so anyway, here's the point. The Coast Guard gave out some ideas, some tips.
Helpful tips, like, wow, you're not getting a paycheck today, but hey.
What can you do?
Okay.
Said, like, don't do it alone. Have friends. That makes sense. And then it started talking about debt collectors. And started giving the rules that the debt collectors can only call between 8 a.m. and 9 p.m.
Shouldn't there be a moratorium on debt, on any kind of collection agency for a federal employee
That's right.
now?
I think you should be asking debt collectors to be nice. Not their job.
Yeah, call it a decent time.
But
yeah.
They took these other tips down off the site. Maybe because they were so effective.
Tell.
Things to do while you're furloughed, right? Without pay. And I will say that these are not military people, which means they don't get paid ever.
Oh, these are the contractors?
They don't make this money back again. Oh, jeez. So they're sitting
just
at
out
home.
of work. They're just...
Here's suggestion number 1. Babysit.
That's great. Anything else?
Oh, yeah. Plenty more. Have a garage sale. Clean out the garage.
In January?
I didn't even think of that. The basement and the attic.
Oh, we just spread all that out in the snow. Try to put a tarp over it so if the snow falls again, it won't get it all messy. Okay, keep going.
For larger items, you might want to sell them in the paper, the newspaper.
That's
newspaper.
So cute.
Isn't that cute?
Okay.
Turn your hobbies into cash.
You're lying to me, right? No, come on, this is too horrible.
It is. Turn your hobbies into cash.
How would you do that?
I don't know. Dog walk.
Oh, there wasn't actually any explanation behind that. That was just that.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's just sell your whittling.
Find a unicorn.
If you're a whittler.
And pluck its hair for a harp.
I don't.
Okay, keep going.
Dog walker. Walk dogs. There you go.
Okay.
And then
that almost makes up for a full-time salary, sure.
And this one is so good because it was kind of like when they wrote it, they went like this: be a mystery shopper. There is a high demand.
No, there isn't.
For mystery shoppers. There is no demand for mystery shoppers.
I get a million of these different pitches from people, trying on a website going, could you put this on your website, mystery? No, 99% of them are scams. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the ones that actually do it get a very limited amount of money or maybe free product for their mystery shopping.
If I was
turn your hobbies into cash, blank, no explanation, just the whittling. Hey, I know you were hoping for a full-time paycheck, but that's not happening.
How about a cuddle? Turn it into cash.
Create a cuddle puddle. At this point, everyone's so sad and beat up, they'll probably I'd just like you to hold me. Could you just hold me?
We'll cuddle.
But they don't have any money either.
We'll cuddle for food. That is so sad.
Oh, that is just...
All right. Oh, hey. If you're feeling down, you want to see what I did last night? Watch.
She loved it.
Hey, Todd. You have an exciting lifestyle. What are you doing tonight? Come on. A fine hotel room. Oh, but wait. like a mad scientist. 21 electrodes. That's what they're hitching up to me. You see, they found out, I did a home sleep study, that this little thing, I stopped breathing 19 times an hour. And they say it's bad. My oxygen also drops to about 74, which it should be in the high 90s. That explains all of this. And my wife nudging me saying, you've stopped breathing again. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing a nighttime study at LDS Hospital. And I just can't wait. I can't wait to wear one of these. It's like a dream come true. It's like I'm going to be an astronaut. So anyway, I'll get all hitched up here, and which will take about 40 minutes, I understand. And they just told me that 2 of these I'm not going to like, so I'm kind of worried about where that's going to go. I'll talk to you in a second. See, that's not too bad looking, is it? No, of course not. Look, I'm a robot. All right, so now I'm going to go to sleep. Yeah, and we'll see you later. Adios. Sexy. I would like to make a suggestion to the hospital. Mm-hmm. The rooms are very sterile.
What were you looking for? It's a hospital.
Thematic rooms.
Like our dentist's office?
That's so where I was going.
We have a great dentist who totally has all these things like Disney or like mountain climbing room.
And then there's the aquatic room with nautical,
like fins and masks
nautical spear guns and stuff. It was really, I just think that...
You're thinking they should take the way of Dr. Smith and decorate in theme.
There should be, you saw, it's just kind of, eh.
You're remembering this is a hospital where things are meant to be sterile.
No, yeah. I like my idea better.
You're just bitter because they wouldn't let you watch TV.
Coming up next, they're plowing someplace that you wouldn't imagine.
Well,
and that's coming up next.
The Todd and Erin Daily Stream is brought to you by PC Laptops, with desktops and laptops starting as low as $7.99 with a lifetime parts and service warranty. They fix phones too. Go to PCLaptops.com.
So they're open, is what you're saying.
It's back to the national
welcome
parks.
Back to the Todd and Erin Daily Stream.
Well, Arches, Capitol Reef, and Canyonland National Parks, you know, all the rangers there have been kind of struggling because even with the shutdown, they're still there trying to keep things going. They're considered essential personnel.
And they had some damage done in a couple of the national parks and stuff. And it's
because there wasn't enough coverage.
Babysitting. There wasn't enough babysitting going on. So that's basically...
Well, you have to remember, these parks in particular, though, once they get a snowfall, they can pack in for the winter if they're not plowed.
I didn't know that.
I mean, there's some heavy-duty snowfall there, and if you don't keep those roads plowed, it's like you can open again, but it's like, well, you can't get to any of those places, I'm sorry, not till we have a spring thaw.
But don't they know, aren't people who are coming on vacation, aren't they like checking this out and maybe changing some of their plans?
How many people
do they know that
How many people do you know who actually think ahead?
A lot.
And by the way, I put myself solidly in the I don't think things through category, so there is no judgment here at all.
You think about stuff like that on our vacations, and you know, maybe instead of going there, you go to Ned's petting zoo farm or something instead of Zion's.
I knew you would bring that one up. Ned was a great man, and those alpacas didn't spit that much.
His wife had the world's largest yarn ball.
See, he doesn't appreciate these things. The deal is this, though. I thought this was really cool, and I've heard about this from other states where they've tried to kind of support a lot of the federally sponsored areas that are kind of screwed right now. They just can't do stuff.
Right.
So UDOT said, look, we'll be glad to come in and we'll help you plow, which I thought was amazing because the parks have limited funding, so they're not really able to plow in the way that they need to. They've had to close these down.
Plus the fact that the state makes a crap load of money off these places.
I was trying to present this as a beautiful thing where the state and the parks worked in harmony.
Yeah, as long as it's inside the souvenir shop where you buy your tickets and your gum sticks that are shaped like the arch.
Nobody likes a cynic, honey. I just thought that was really nice. So UDOT's going to be helping them, and it was pretty cool. Ben McAdams, who of course is our new representative here from Utah, actually wrote a letter to the acting Secretary of the Interior, David Bernhardt, and said, look, our national parks don't really have that many reserve funds. Would it be all right if we use some state services to help them? And he gave permission.
We've done this before.
So I thought that was rather clever.
The state has done this before, I remember.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Very good.
So that was pretty cool. I like that.
I was listening to someone's conversation in line at the supermarket today. I wasn't eavesdropping, but these two found something in common, and they didn't even know each other. And evidently, as someone was putting stuff up on the conveyor belt, the lady, and it's a guy, and the lady turns to him, and she goes, "When did you get it?" And he said, I don't know what you're talking about. And he goes, "Where'd you get it?" "On your hand. Your hand. When did you get that?" And he looks down, and there's a small black mark in his skin. Pencil lead.
Oh, yeah.
And she showed him his. And the cashier had one, too.
It's remember the graphite ends from the pencils, and we all end up, like, you would either have fights with a friend or somebody at school, and it was almost all traditionally through here, or like the webbing, which is really painful.
Oh, and just under the skin, and
it stays. The body does not absorb it the way it may other foreign objects, and it doesn't try to push it out the way it does other foreign objects.
Like Teflon.
Yeah,
it's
just
non-something or other.
Yeah.
Use a science word
It's
that you wish
it's
to
non-irritant,
use.
so that the body doesn't attempt to expel it. But
I just thought that was
that
funny.
was hysterical. So everybody started looking in line like, where did you get yours?
Well, it's three people right in front of me, and it was just like, you guys, what kind of school did you go to? That's a mean place.
My sister Jenny, she actually put it through her own hand. She was flailing and doing a dramatic Jenny fit, and she had pencil, and she put it right through here.
That'll solve the argument.
The worst part is she put up her hand like this, and she began to dance. It was like this terrified jig of terrifiedness.
Oh, I know the dance.
And the pencil is like, and I said, "Come here and let me pull that out." But she was too busy leaping. It was like the nightmare version of Swan Lake.
Who pulled it out?
I did. Yeah.
Did you push it through or pull it out?
Oh, I had to pull it back the other way.
Okay, cool.
But that poor girl, she was just beside
That'll do
herself.
it.
And now, so the lead's on this side, that side of the hand. A constant reminder of her Swan Lake dance of death.
Let's talk about safety. Firemen know safety, and that's a tell me something good.
Brought to you by PC Laptops, of course. Their laptops and desktops start at $7.99 lifetime service and parts warranty. Well, I thought this was really cool. Now, this is surprisingly, I actually had to run one of my old church teachers to the emergency room. She called me, we lived right across the street. She had been washing a glass, and you know how this works, right?
Oh.
You're washing a glass. It was a wine glass, really thin. Not my old teacher, the woman who I'm talking about here. But this is where you get all these big cuts right through here. And it's extremely common. The glass will crack while you're cleaning it.
Bartenders do it all the time because you have those rotating brushes, and you do this, and then there's a broken one, and yeah.
Well, Rachel Schoonover was washing dishes and trying to put everything together, and a wine glass shattered. Now, hers was even exceptionally where she cut an artery in her wrist. And I actually got a chance to talk to her because I had called and asked, could I please use your story because this is amazing. And she said there was blood everywhere, spraying all the corners of my kitchen. And I'm like, oh, she goes, I wrapped it up in a towel. I called 911. I called my mom. And then I continued to bleed everywhere. And I'm like, I can see that. So the Elmira Fire Department were the first ones to arrive on the scene. So they tied a tourniquet. They're trying to slow the bleeding. Now, her son Declan was there, her little boy, and he wasn't dressed for school yet because you know how it is. It's the morning. You're just trying to get stuff done. So they helped him get ready, and then they kept the two of them calm. Her mom hadn't arrived to take care of Declan, and her husband was still at work. She couldn't reach him. Are you really going to be that traumatized? Okay, I'm done with the most horrible part. You can take it out. Now, this is so sweet. So she got into the ambulance with the paramedics, with the fire department, and the firemen said, you know what? We'll stay here, and we'll just hold the fort down and stay with your son until your mom gets here.
Right.
So she got her stitches and a tetanus shot, and then she was discharged that evening. And when she got home, you might want to plug your ears again. She goes, I got back to my house, and she said, I was dreading this because I knew there was blood everywhere. And she said, I knew my husband wasn't going to clean it up. He's got a blood thing. And she said, the mess was nearly non-existent. The firemen had wiped down my fridge, coffee maker, speakers, cupboards, bathtub, floors, even individual K-cups around my coffee maker that had been hit. They put the dirty towels in my bathtub, threw away the glass, cleaned up the blood in my sink, and then they left a note for her saying, hope you feel better and have a happy holiday with your boy. We cleaned up shortly after you left. Hope you don't mind. We don't know what to do with the rug, though. Have a glass of wine, and we hope you feel better.
But drink it right out of the bottle.
Isn't that the sweetest thing?
It is.
She put this up on Facebook, and it's been shared
Oh, my gosh.
well over 100,000 times by now. But she said, thank you so much to the West Elmira Fire Department.
That's a great job.
This is why I'm so in love with firemen. Every fireman who has ever come to our house to
Or
help in
woman.
some emergency, firefighters who have come to our house have been utterly amazing. Amazing people.
They're in it for the right reason.
But you have to admit, that's like above and beyond the Call of Duty.
That's a CSI crime scene.
You know, it really was. She talked about, I mean, she was quite specific about the arterial spray.
Oh, okay. Let's stop that.
Yeah, but you know how it is. If it's you almost have that like sort of ghoulish interest in explaining how intense it was. But I'm really proud of Rachel. She kept calm. They were awesome. Everybody did okay. So
Meghan Markle's England.
We love her.
We do love her.
Yes, we do.
And she has a personal assistant. How would that be for that job?
That'd be fun.
Wouldn't that?
I mean, it'd be high stress, but imagine all the places that you would go and all the stuff you got to do and see.
Well, they are looking right now for some positions at the palaces.
I want to work at the palace.
Right?
That wouldn't be realistic since they're
Head of learning.
there.
Head of learning.
What are you learning?
Work closely with the Royal Collection Trust to increase awareness about education. That sounds fun.
Isn't that like a marketing position? Head of learning sounds like you're a professor.
Oh, did I mention it happens at St. James Palace?
I'm making that creepy noise, sorry.
Remount trainer and assistant stud groom. That sounds like a romance novel, doesn't
Training
it?
young horses and ponies for various activities.
That sounds fun.
I think that's rather sweet.
Building surveyor. Maintain and conserve the royal residences.
Man, there's a lot of work there.
I can't
A
even.
ridiculous amount of work.
It's like, sure, this is really old. We should tear it down and put up some stucco.
How do we improve the heating system? There isn't one.
These are the kind of places when they say it's time to replace the roof. It costs like $2.5 million. It seriously does.
And like 3 years, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And then a building supervisor at Windsor Castle.
You just watch everybody else do the work.
Oh,
yeah.
you're preserving historic structures and assigning projects. This is not to be confused with the building surveyor. Okay, now I could do this one.
Visitor services assistant warden. Basically, you are going to be in the palace of Holyrood House.
Holyrood House, Scottish.
And what do you do?
You're engaging with, this is like if you were a page at the White House. Blue bedroom, yeah, so essentially you're answering questions and
pencil went in someone's nose.
And you walk people through the palace and answer questions. I'd love
That'd be
that.
fun. But you definitely would need an accent. You couldn't just go in and,
maybe
doing?
I could be an enthusiastic American. Maybe they would like that. No one likes Americans.
Furniture conservatory. I like this one. They got really fancy stuff, though.
They got really fancy.
Really fancy.
There's a lot of satin.
Like I go in and I have like Gorilla Glue with me and a couple.
This stuff works at home. I got some tacks.
We're good.
No, this is like gossamer thin, satin.
And it's been around, and the furniture has been around. A bureau has been around since 17 minus
Mary Queen of
80,
Scots. Yeah. Yeah. So what do you do?
I just go online to the official website and go ahead and get.
Oh, you evaluate and restore.
Oh yeah.
Furniture within the royal.
Yeah, that's what I was
houses.
saying. With a set of drawers, you're gonna make sure
I would be so screwed at that job.
The drawers drawer correctly.
I would be completely screwed. So basically, the only thing I do could be the tour guide at the Holyrood House. Okay.
I could work in the stable, but then again, that whole romance novel thing.
I know, but then you get to go stable boy. That would be awesome.
For who?
Well, me, essentially. I'd be coming out from doing my tour guide duties, and I could look haughtily down my nose at you and go, stable boy.
All right.
Sorry, I got too into that, didn't I?
A little fantasy. We should talk about a love and heartbreak, because I think that is such an incredible story.
I don't think either one of those things come into play here.
Love?
At all. Now, we've all heard stories about sexual harassment and how scary it is. And
that's serious.
And it's terrifying. No. And so you're thinking, wow, oh my gosh, who's the poor woman? Well, no, not exactly. The person here who has been victimized is a strong, tall, healthy Pennsylvanian police officer with many handguns.
Now, we should say the fact that we did a story like this earlier in the week where a woman felt that her man didn't want to date her after the first date and texted him 159,000 times.
Made comments about turning his kidneys into sushi and then using his finger bones as chopsticks.
Back to the policeman.
Well, here we go. She wanted a date super, super bad. This is Ashley Keister of Nanticoke. I love the names in Pennsylvania. And apparently she smashed her way into a closed and locked Pennsylvania police station looking for an officer she had been sexually harassing ever since he arrested her the year before. He arrested her for various small charges, and apparently when her eyes met his over at the handcuffs, it was true love for Ashley.
For her,
And ever since then, she had been endlessly harassing him, messages on social media. She tracked down everything about him.
So what happens
She would
when
call 911 just to talk to him.
Oh, and they love that.
And apparently they cut her off in that direction, so instead she used the large cigarette butt receptacle, you know, those big ones they have outside the doors for smokers to sit out there and huddle, and smashed the glass doors, got in, and started rummaging through file cabinets trying to find his home address.
Oh my God.
So break-in was caught on surveillance cameras, and the nice thing is it was super, super simple to arrest her because she was just standing right there.
Yeah, it's true. She's
So
in
she
a
was
police department.
charged with aggravated assault on a police officer, burglary, and vandalism. A message left with her public defender seeking comment has not yet been returned.
Let it ride.
Do you know why? Can you imagine the line of public defenders, and they're holding up the file, and they're like, I don't know.
They don't want that.
You know, don't make eye contact.
No. Give me the heroin smuggler.
Ashley, I can see by your pout that you're super disappointed, but sometimes you got to take a no for an answer.
As we all do.
You know, she was probably thinking, this will be the cutest story to tell her children, because they'll go, Mommy, how did you and Daddy meet? And they'll say, he arrested me, and then I broke into the police station. And, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a reminder too, and I went online today, and there was all these women, and they were talking about how bad their husbands snored. Take you back to the hospital where I was going through my sleep test, and
Hitting them with pillows and
and laughing, and it's like, that's funny, but if it's sleep apnea, it could be damaging. I think it's the left part of your heart, not getting enough oxygen.
You need both sides. I don't know if you know that.
Right. So anyway, funny, yes.
But if there's severe snoring, that might be a really powerful
Check it
warning
out.
sign.
Insurance covers it. You can do it at home. I had to go back in and do it there, but you could do it. And just please check it out, because, you know, we only have 4 of you, and 3 just doesn't seem like a crowd anymore.
No, it's not the same.
See you guys.
Be healthy. We love you.
All right.